Good evening, Ryan.
Hi, Helmets. Happy Thursday, I think it is.
Happy Thursday night. I suppose we need to get out the bell.
Need to definitely hit the bell tonight.
So can we congratulate you? The deal is finished, yes?
Yep. DNWE. Done deal.
Bang, that's awesome. So please, good evening, everybody. So you can leave your comments on live streams on YouTube and LinkedIn. Then we'll be able to put them on the screen. So if you have questions to Ryan, please come and ask. We have a big day today. Lots of news. So Ryan has hopefully finished or almost there. Yes, acquiring DNWE. That's the name wholesale exchange, a platform well known for domainers. Then seller has rejected Ryan's 3 million cash offer. Then Ryan has acquired a UK portfolio, .co.uk's and .uk's of 1.7 thousand domain names. What is cooking on in Brandable and lots more. Ryan, a busy week. Hey, buddy.
It's all coming together.
You should take a Prozac or something. Just chill down.
Yeah, it's definitely been a busy week. But no, really happy. You know, DNWE it happened randomly because of doing the Daily Diamonds thing together.
Yes.
There was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek post on Twitter about me buying DNWE, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So we spoke about it for a couple of months. And then about a month ago, we agreed terms, signed the paperwork, and then the developers are doing the updates and stuff. So yeah, and it transfers across tomorrow.
Oh, so everything transfers. It has the domain. Is the domain name in your?
No, it'll be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All the legal contracts are signed and money.
Who is the seller?
So Josh Reason and Josh Shuren, J2X. They set it up in 2020. So
2020. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you give us some stats, please?
In terms of sales or in terms of
sales numbers, domainers, and stuff like that.
Okay. So it's got 3,500 active users that buy and sell on the platform.
Wow. And that platform is for wholesale only, I understand, yes?
So basically there's four markets in domain names.
Yes.
There's a scrap value market. That's someone who doesn't really know the value of a domain. They've got it and they just liquidate it out to someone they know. Probably they lose money. Then you've got wholesale, so that's kind of like say domain auctions and that kind of thing, Namejet, forums, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the second tier of domaining. So I think people kind of maybe break even in that kind of range of domains because essentially you need time to sell a domain. Then you've got the investor market. So DNWE is an investor to investor market. So because it's private, essentially, I think that's what they're the market makers, basically. DNWE and investor to investor, which normally is behind closed doors. They're the kind of the market makers. So you get quite a good indication of where the market's going, and it's where the most knowledge is and where the most money's made. So that level of the domain market is super important. And then obviously you've got the retail end user market, which is kind of the top of the tree. And that comes down to negotiation skills, essentially, to get the most money for any given domain and time.
Can we disclose the amount?
No, we're not. We've got in the contract we're not allowed to disclose the price, but it was a reasonable price. But essentially what happened was they launched the platform.
Yes.
As this kind of sales commission type of venture, and then last year they switched to a subscription model because they preferred it for stability.
Nice. Yes.
They thought they could grow it. They couldn't quite get the user base where they wanted it to, so they switched back to sales commission.
Okay.
And then essentially what I'm going to do is there's some new features we're adding in. So a standard auction. So at the moment you've got reverse auctions and you've got basically kind of, they call them standard listing and premium listings.
Yes.
So we've had a full auction built. So you'll be able to list a domain for $99. People can bid on it, similar to Namejet or Snap Names, something like that, GoDaddy auctions. So you'll be able to bid on it. The difference is that we'll have once the auction ends, or the auction will randomly end 30 minutes after the closing time, so that it doesn't go on for hours and hours. So that's one cool feature. And then we're adding data feeds like GoDaddy. There's a few data feeds we're adding so that when you look at domains, you'll be able to get a quick snapshot of .db extensions, which is already there.
Nice.
Evaluation, maybe Esterbot, with a couple, maybe Ahrefs, maybe Majestic. And
Or maybe when you meet with Titan Research, that is actually exactly the service they want to sell or offer to others. Yes, domain ranks.
I mean, these data feeds are expensive for people to have. Okay. So giving them that pre-package, which is the same as you have on Brandable and same on Domain Manage, it kind of makes sense. So you can make a more informed decision. The standard listings, so there's quite a lot of domains on there at the moment. They call them like standard listings, but we're going to create a flea market. Okay. So essentially there's going to be maybe tens of thousands of domains on there. So along the lines of, like, in a forum, you might, name pros, for example, you might try and sell a domain for $50 or $75. That flea market, kind of, the more time you spend and the more savvy you are, the more money there is to be made, basically.
Okay. Yes.
So flea market's a bit of gamification, and then we're switching out the payment gateway to we're either going to process it on site or we'll push them through Domain Manage checkout rather than dan.com.
Quick question: how many marketplaces do you have now?
Flip,
okay,
Brandable, Domain Manage, Flipjet we're building, which is a public facing.
So that will be fifth one, yes.
Fourth, and DNWE, so 5.
Okay, so four existing ones.
Yeah.
How does it go into your stable? I suppose all of them are different. Flip definitely is leaves its own niche. .uk is pretty much, yeah.
So basically, so the reason why we built Brandable was because when you go on Dan or after Nick or Sado, the domains aren't priced in pounds. It's expensive to receive the money when you sell. The domains are never promoted. When you search for a keyword, they're always on page 2 behind all the other GTLDs. VAT and tax is a nightmare. So we custom built all the tools that we need, having invested a lot in UK domain names that we feel the market needs, and we want to raise. So we're at a very exciting point for the UK market. It's been fairly flat. So with marketing and advertising and everything else, we're looking to skyrocket the UK domains by having a ultra premium marketplace. So, but it's only for UK domains.
And I did see this morning you did change the banner on Icon domains.
Yeah.
The banner big fit.co.uk and fit.uk. Oh my God, what a domain name.
Yeah, so that was the number one person. So Brandable went live to pre-registered people yesterday.
Yes.
So the chap that owns fit.uk, he was the first person on platform. So each day we're going to promote different domains, and when you click the domain, you'll see the kind of value of where that domain kind of fits for end users.
And you have definitely invested quite a lot in marketing. You are preparing your army, your fleet. So where are you advertising these deals at the moment?
So in terms of Brandable, so Brandable pre-launch, we've got 150 users and around about 200,000 domains waiting to come on platform. So yesterday was the first person to come on platform. Today we went out. So what I'm doing is generally going out at 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 people and saying, do you want to come on platform? And today 4 of the 5 came back within minutes saying, yep, cool, we're ready to go. So basically I pushed them live. So today we brought on around about maybe 15,000 domains, 20,000 domains. Tomorrow we'll go out to another 5. Saturday we'll go out to another 5. And then Monday we'll basically ramp up to 20 to 30 pre-registered people. Yes. And by the end of next week, everyone that pre-registered, so this is before December the 20th, will have access to Brandable, and then we'll go for full general. Anyone can come and log in and whatnot at the end of maybe 2nd, 3rd, or 4th week of June.
Yes, and for Brandable.uk, it is mostly UK's own domain names, or .coms also.
Only UK domains.
Only UK's domains. Okay.
Yeah. So that's UK and co.uk.
Okay, and how do Flip and Brandable stand side by side?
So Flip will be rebuilt with an app, and it's essentially for the wholesale market.
With an app.
with an app.
Okay.
So Flip will have an app, and probably by the end of the year, it'll be completely rebuilt from scratch, with 3 or 4 different auction functionalities rather than just the normal one.
Yes.
So that'll rebuild. That's for wholesale markets. That's for people who want to liquidate really quickly. If you're managing your domains with Brandable, then you'll be able to just in the back end just flick a switch and it will automatically go to auction and Flip. Whereas Brandable is about the education process. It's about education, and it's about making people aware of the value of a UK or .co.uk domain, as in the general public. And we're looking to raise the floor price of a UK domain because for whatever reason, or whatever reasons, over the last 4 or 5 years, the market's got a bit flat. There's not much energy in it.
But public sales, publicly known sales.
Sales, yeah.
We both heard in Paris of 2.uk sales. We cannot say anything else. That was six figures plus.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we've had a number of high 5-figure sales. There's been a couple of rejections we turned down of 6-figure sales.
Nice.
So, and what we want to do is we'll make public. We'll publish the sales, which is one of the things in the UK. There are quite a lot of high value sales, but people are really cagey and won't share. So we intend to share our sales.
I was also checking DN Journal just this morning. A fresh list came out, and DEs are properly covered there. Not .co.uk, not no UKs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we could definitely do a better job in that one. In this video.
I mean, I was speaking to the CEO of Name Bio.
Yes.
And he asked basically for us to provide sales feeds from Flip, which is a great moment.
Yes.
From Brandable, from DNWE, because previously they weren't allowed sales data from DNWE, and from Domain Manage. So we're working on the API for them, and we're probably, one of the things that's going to happen with DNWE is there's going to be an email go out to 3,500 users probably on Monday, and they'll be able to come in and basically complete a survey or questionnaire whereby we share the design logos. They can pick their best option. We'll share the fact that we'll put it to a vote. So rather than survey, you'll be able to vote on stuff. So we're looking at maybe an app for DNWE by the end of July. So we will put it out there to the community, and if they vote on it, and along with other features we're thinking of, like publishing sales data, we'll put it out to the community to vote. And if they vote, we'll carry through the logo design, the app, sharing of data and stuff like that.
And how's Domain Manage now doing? So
crazy. Like literally 1 or 2 sales a day on Domain Manage.
Very nice. Yes.
Really good. We've got our auto outbounding system running now for about 6 weeks. Something like that. That's generating crazy inquiries. So that's really positive. Domain Manage is really good. We've just we just completed a broker deal for a 4letter.com for $150,000.
For 4letter.com.
Yeah, and it was a great 4-letter, but that's one of the deals I'm proud of because it was super complicated.
Yes,
could have gone wrong at any stage, and massive skill and knowledge. That's definitely one I'm proud of. We are. Domain Manage is really good. We were looking to launch the full checkout, and kind of second week in June. What we've now done is we've brought in an app specialist, an app design specialist, so someone and they're basically redesigning it from scratch. Domain Manage. So probably we're looking at end of July or something to roll out the features like the domain buyback guarantee and things like that.
So Flip is going to be redone into app and Domain Manage as well?
No, not for an app. It's an app designer. So it's more about
yes.
UI, UX, and functionality. Because some of the things with the back end it's better to have an app designer than it is to have a creative designer, if you like.
Okay.
It's a bit of a difference. So DNWE will have an app if the community vote, and Flip will have an app. Domain Manage won't have an app.
How big is your team, Ryan? That's super impressive. Like.
So I got 3 design teams and 3 dev teams. So completely separate companies, if you like.
Yes.
freelancers that manage each specific project. So from a design perspective, I never use the same designer on any given project. So I'll go out to a team of, or I'll go out to maybe a panel of 3 to 5 designers. I'll give them the brief. They'll come up with their designs, then I'll pick who I think is nearest to my the creative brief that I give, and then they will roll out every design on that particular project.
Tell us more about who rejected 3 million cash deal. Who didn't take the money?
So what happened was we last year we tried to acquire DigitalCandy.com and we couldn't acquire it. So went back to the drawing board, trying to work on names that we were going to run on, and then over Christmas time, it's the Web 2, Web 3 thing, which is basically your identity. So
Yes.
you know, a domain is the gateway to your it's kind of your store identity. It's your potentially going to become your social identity, your wallet ID. So eventually I came up with ID.com. It'd never been on the market before. So earlier this year, I approached the owner and said, hey, look, you're interested in selling the domain? And they were like, oh, well, maybe. So I said, okay, well, look, I'll give you $1 million for it in cash. And they were like, oh, no, basically, we think it's worth 7. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what, this is 2 months ago. I said, I'll give you 3 million cash for it. And they said, no, we want to hold out for 7. So about a month ago or something, they obviously approached Andrew Miller to broker the domain name. But because I'd been in communication with them before that,
Yes.
I made an offer on Monday so rather than a cash deal, it was a 5-year buyout deal.
Okay.
Which would have worked out, they would have made 7.5 million. But now they want 20 million for it. So basically, there's 2 or 3 other options I'm going to work on because we won't be able to close in time.
So now they want 20 million?
Yeah, now it's 20 million, that domain.
Bang. Talking about the value of domain names.
To be fair, I think 7. So the key thing here is I wanted to make a statement to the community that how committed I am to domain names, because no one runs on a good quality domain name. And rather than do it in a year's time or 2 years' time, I figured I'd bite the bullet and get something day one, so I don't have to go through a rebrand like, say, Squad Help to Atom. I don't have to worry about that. People come on board, and ultimately it's about TV advertising, about branding, and everything else about education. So having an absolute killer of a domain name, I would be willing to pay now maybe 7 million in cash. However, a bit like Digital Candy, when these sometimes they need to basically get an offer, turn it down, get kicked around the block a little bit, and then eventually come back. But by that stage, it's too late. So there's a lesson for everyone in domain names. And who knows, maybe they'll get the right person. I mean, the feedback I had when I started speaking to people about it was that they felt it was maybe more like a government type thing, ID, identification, ID verification, that kind of thing. So ultimately they turned down a 5-year buyout for 7.5 and a cash offer about 6 weeks ago for 3. So onwards and upwards.
Are you still looking towards that domain name, or?
There's 2 others I'm in discussions with.
2 others.
They're 7-figure domains, nice domains.
And there is no shortage of 2-letter domain names also.
Yeah, it's just ID is a great one. Like we've got order.
Yes.
I like these words, but ID because I think there's something to the GTLDs.
Okay.
We went to ICANN Paris.
Yes, it will.
Okay, and one of the things I didn't realize, because obviously about XYZ and we know about .horse and we know about these kind of thing, but it's ultimately about the business use case behind the GTLD. So, for example, like .bank. Do you remember we met the lady?
Oh, yes, American Lithuanian Heather, I think her name was. Yes, right. They ran .bank and .insurance.
Yeah. So what they do is they go to banks and they say, look, basically you use our domain name, so you can only get the domain if you're verified, you have all the relevant accreditation. Yeah. And the business use case and technical advantage you would have from having a .bank versus .com is 10 to 100 times better, right? Because they've got things like HSTS built in, so your website will load really quickly. They've got there's no phishing because of the extra protection they've got. There's just so many really good technological innovation in that extension that the next round of GTLDs, I'm thinking, God, there's so many really good. There's really good business use cases that have never been promoted. I mean, no one does TV advertising on any GTLD. No one does, barely, like, other than GoDaddy, because they essentially sell websites.
Yes.
No one's really promoting the stuff. So if you're going to spend 1 million, 3 million, 5 million on a GTLD or a domain name, why wouldn't you have an appropriate web development budget? Why wouldn't you have a marketing budget on top? It's just crazy for me. So it'd be super interesting with, we know Web 2, we know Web 3 is going to buy a domain and they're going to pair it with the Web 2 to get the technological benefits.
Of course. It should come at some point. I've been actually very surprised that companies like Freename or Unstoppable haven't started purchasing these domain name extensions. Like they could go to Donuts, Identity Digital now, yes.
Yeah.
Identity Digital they have so many of these TLDs. I'm sure they can buy a few of them.
Yeah, it's the next few years are interesting. I still am massively passionate about .coms because of the just because of the legacy. The first extension, it is like gold standard and all that, but there's going to be a lot of change, and when that marketing and awareness is generated, do younger people really care about .com versus whatever it might be? I wouldn't bet my house that they didn't.
Can we share details on the last conversation in Paris?
Yeah.
So for our viewers, me and Ryan, we went together from point A to point Z, and we were together during the ICANN Paris. Fantastic event, absolutely fantastic. And those Americans who are watching, you should and you have to come to Europe. You cannot imagine of these regional events that are being created. They are insane. You guys think NamesCon is big? Yes. CloudFest, the guys who organize NamesCon, they do 10 times larger event called CloudFest. It is 10 times larger. Like, Americans, you should come to Europe, come and enjoy the paradise of domain name investing and the business itself. So me and Ryan, we were sitting in the lobby and talking. It was the last evening. People were leaving. There was some private party or somebody, and then we stumbled upon two guys in a bar, and Ryan started working on a deal.
Yeah. So it was a bit random how it happened, but someone had a GTLD, and I was like, do you know what? I could kind of see its use case. They hadn't necessarily maximized its full potential of marketing and stuff. For this would be quite exciting. And so randomly we sat down pretty much head to head. With Helmut moderating.
Yes.
And, tried to close the deal.
Ryan told me, Helmut, you should have some wine. And, and I did warn the seller. Ryan is known. If he really wants to buy something, if he starts offering you drinks, it means he's in a deal mode. So you should know that. And I said, well, Ryan, I don't really drink during the networking events. He said, you should. Okay, no problem. And Ryan started going with this guy back and forth towards buying the TLD.
Again, it was, I knew what I'd pay for it, and I knew what it was worth, right? And based on the turnover and stuff, it wasn't outstanding. Okay, but I don't know if so long as we don't disclose the
yes, we cannot, yes.
The TLD, then, the guy started off at like 8 million, basically, wasn't it? Was it 8 million?
Yes. You started with 1 million. I'll give you 1.5. That's it. Closed eyes. I don't know the numbers. I don't know anything. 1 or 1.5. And he said 8.
And then I went to 4.
Yes. Then you got some drinks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. I was at 4, and then he was at about 4.75. And then we came down to 4.5, and I said, look, basically, I'm not going above 4, right? For the turnover and everything else. Basically, it's now or never. It's entirely up to you. And he wouldn't shift, so I was like, okay, cool. Good luck with things.
And it was strange. It was strange. Yes, in the end, the difference was 500,000, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
And the guy is motivated to sell.
Yeah.
He's motivated to sell. And he makes and he does the sales with promos. Almost only with promos. And
I think the thing for me is
the TLD is good. The TLD is good, but there is no marketing there, and you need to inject a lot
I mean, look, for me, 4 million would have been more than I would really want to pay for it.
Yes.
Because what I don't want to do is pay for the work. Like if I have a vision for something, I'm not going to pay you as the previous owner for the work that I'm going to do on it and the benefits that I'm going to reap from that. Right?
Yes.
It's not going to happen. But it was a crazy one because we were there with beers and it was quite funny. It's a good way to do business.
Absolutely. And what can we sell? What can we say to motivated sellers? Don't go home. Take the deal.
Well, no, I think the thing is that so on one hand of things, I think Chris Zeiger talks about this. He says, you can't get to 5 million without turning down 2 million. Okay, and you can't get to 20 million without turning down 5 million. So, but it also works the other way. And it works the other way in that basically you never know, and this is Chris Zeiger as well, I'll credit him for this, but essentially it's you never know when you've had the best offer for something. Right? And because I buy and sell so many things, sometimes a seller has to get kicked around the block to realize that the offer that I made originally was a really fair offer. But in their mind, it's worth an unlimited amount of money. But the more people they speak to and the more people that come in at 200,000 or 300,000 based on the figures, the more realistic they become. So it's like almost like a paradigm between the two ways. So the way I work in domain names and stuff is I always leave money on the table for other people. I'm not there to maximize value for myself and stuff. I want the buyer to feel happy and then to come back to me with potentially other work, whether it be, going from maybe, because one of the things I'm now starting to do is talk to people about GTLDs. Maybe that person that bought a domain name for 7 because maybe they're ready for a GTLD because of the technological benefits. And so I think it's important to leave money, or if you go to a party, right, both people have to leave with balloons, one balloon each, right? Yeah. If one person tries to grab both balloons and run off, it's just not the way to behave in the party.
He's a very, very nice guy. Have you been in contact since then?
He messaged me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And a bit of a joke, and we had a bit of a joke or whatnot. Whether we do the deal or not, I'm not sure, to be honest. I think that there was an opportunity that night.
Okay.
And it's just the way it is. It's no different to ID.com or digitalcandy.com or anything else, right? Mm. There's a deal to be had. If it can't be done, good, you move on with other things. I'm not one of these people that's going to hang around and, I've got 3 or 4 other things looking at, portfolios and everything else. So if there's a deal to be done, great, happy days. If there's not, we move on. I'll get on with life and I've forgotten about it tomorrow.
Fabulous. Okay, let's jump to the next one. So half an hour in, we had a short evening tonight. Ryan, so you have acquired 1.7 thousand UK domain names.
Yeah, 1,700 UK and UK
yes.
portfolio.
Bang. Purchase price?
5 figures.
5 figures.
5 figures. I'd say it's kind of a medium tier or grades. Let's say if grade A's your 1 letters.
Yes.
I would say it's grade 4.
Okay.
5's unsellable if you like, but grade 4. 2 words, UK's 3-letter, a few 3 words, some numerics. But again, the guy understood. Well, essentially wanted to exit the market. We both left with a balloon. He's super happy.
Okay.
And then for me, it's about the data that I'm going to gather. And now that Brandable's there, it makes sense for me to just be buying everything up.
And inventory as well.
Yeah. And remember the guy actually, because I put on Acorn, I think I put a post on Acorn saying that I was going to start buying UK domains at the end of June.
Okay.
And this is someone I brokered a domain for. And he came to me and said, look, Ryan, I know you're not looking to in June, but can I slide this in front of you, take a look and see what you think? And I reviewed it and I was like, okay, cool, based on the sales figures and whatnot. This is what we do. And yeah, it comes down to the key thing here is if you've got a portfolio or you've got any domain names, they should, if you want to sell them, they should be in a marketplace day one, straight away. Every day that goes by is costing you 1p or whatever it might be. That's the clock's ticking and there's no excuses. Get everything in a platform, have them priced or however you want to play it. I generally price my stock. And then forget about them. Basically, so now I'm up to, I don't know, collectively, maybe we've got 18,000 or something like that. Forgot about it. Move on to the next one. Happy days.
Nice. And so, are these names going to be uploaded at Brandable and Flip, or just Brandable?
No, just Brandable.
Just
so
Brandable.
I won't.
Flip is low wholesale price. Wholesale price. Scrap value, low wholesale price. And Brandable is towards the end buyers. Okay.
Yeah. Buy on Flip, sell on Brandable, or buy on Domain Law, sell on Brandable.
Yep. So where all the premium UK names meet.
Yeah. Well, premium stock sells, but I mean, look, when has anyone ever put a banner on Acorn Domains for a domain that's selling for £100,000? Right? Never. And we tried, Helmets and I have been working together for a little while now, or on different kind of things, and we've tested the banners. We've tested the £50 domain names or the $100 domains. If you are part of the Forum, you'll get the weekly newsletter.
Yes.
On there, I curate 10 domains, and they are all priced well below investor market.
So those who are watching in that list, you cannot get in. Yeah, well, maybe you can add a few of your names, I don't know, but then it will be very difficult to arrange a deal. We send out weekly newsletters on Tuesdays. That consists of 3 parts. And so the first part is curated list of 10 domain names. They are offered in partnership or in friendship with Ryan. And then the next two sessions, next section is from message from our premium members, and then some featured threads.
I mean, that's I think we've sold a couple of domains have sold out within minutes. Yep. The thing I find hilarious is that people will email me and they'll say, Ryan, I'll give you $100 for the domain. How this works. That is a great price. You take it. Don't, crazy. But
I have seen one of those messages as well. Yes. I'll give you $100. A professional domainer.
For a domain that's valued by GoDaddy at $9,500, registered in 28 extensions or 35 extensions, like lots of end users, and I was like, yeah, good luck with that.
Well, maybe one out of 1,000 messages work out. So
yeah, but that's
good luck to every of the strategies,
and that's why we work really well together, negotiating on acquisitions or portfolios or whatever it might be. We run separate businesses.
Yes.
With the summit and we do the meetups together.
Yes.
And so, yeah, really, this is a great example of kind of how businesses can work together to really progress things.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was talking to this German domainer, Wolfgang. He is awesome. Do you know Wolfgang?
The name rings a bell.
He's been in industry for a long time. The guy is phenomenal, so friendly, absolutely awesome. And he asked me, "Hey, were you involved in DNWE?" I said, "No, that's my friend Ryan." He said, "Ooh."
Yeah, I was a bit surprised because I really liked DNWE in terms of the reputation, the brand, and everything else. I think, I guess, look, for me, one of the things I'm most proud about in terms of what I think I'm good at, and that is basically I execute.
Yes.
When I say I do something, I do it. And that's really difficult. If you look at even successful, like Rick Schwartz, he had the idea of stud.com, right? Great idea as well. Completely unique. Freelancers to work on projects, joint ventures, really good. But the execution of it just fell apart because ultimately he's not a web developer. He's not a designer. He's amazing at domain names and has huge success and everything else with it. But the execution of a project, they're worlds apart. They're just
that thing was strange. Was it stud?
Stud. Yeah, breeding domains or something along that.
And he built up momentum. Oh, he has a stellar name, very opinionated, great domain names as well. I'm sure lots of pigeon shit as well. By the way, he owns the trademark for the word pigeon shit, I think.
Yeah.
Just joking, but he invented the word, I think. Yeah, and just because suppose was the back end was it crap? Yes.
No, it's not that it was crap or not. It was the fact that he isn't a he isn't a web
I
developer.
never saw the. I never saw the marketplace. Yes.
No, it looked okay. It was poorly coded. It was images over stuff. It never really got built. It was just a brochure. Same as I think Andrew Rosner talks about it. He tried to do a marketplace, and then basically it was too much for him. He doesn't like building platforms or anything like that. So then, and he's another one of the top people in the industry. But to execute and build a project, honestly, I can't tell you how hard I've worked over the last 14 or 15 months. I didn't have to build any marketplace. I was doing exceptionally well buying and selling domain names. But for me, it's weird buying and selling domain names because I don't want to work 2 hours a week or 3 hours a week. That's not the way I am. I'm a 14, 16 hour a day kind of person. And because I have built so many platforms, that's, and so you'll see more this year. We're going to have ICANN accreditation on Domain Manage. There's lots of cool stuff coming. And it will become more apparent as the year progresses. So to get DNWE, which is a ready build platform, that's the dream. It's got a kind of brand there. We'll go through things around, but ultimately the hard work's been done in creating that platform. And the hardest part of anything is creating a brand. And the 4 months on Brandable I spent with the design team, backwards and forwards, creating the mood board, the art board, the wireframes. 4 months of my life going backwards and forwards just on the design. I think the logo took 6 weeks or something, and brand identity took 6 weeks. So yeah, the key thing is execution on web projects, and that is really hard. And the times at 3 and 4 in the morning when I'm wanting to launch Brandable and it's not there yet, and we want extra features or we want more testing. That's the hard part, But as long as you've got the vision in your mind of where you want to be and when you're going to get there, the rest kind of falls into place.
Maybe probably we should not talk about it on a live stream. Maybe you should acquire Stud. Stud.com. The name is still out there, Ryan.
Yeah.
And Rick did really put in so much heart in it. It was so sad actually see that it got discontinued.
It's quite a good idea. I tried to buy Symbolics because I thought being the very first domain ever registered, I thought that'd be quite cool. There's been a bit of back and forth over the years because Aaron wanted a couple of 2 letters that we had and stuff like that. But I could see Symbolics. I wanted Yuming, which was a domain in Japanese.
Yes, Yudai, Jagdai, got it.
Yeah, or sold it. He sold it now, so I tried to buy it.
Oh, he sold it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think if you look at Spaceship, I think that's an absolutely great domain. I love the website. I love what they're doing. Fantastic. Like Spaceship, it's just hard because it takes so long to think of something to then go and try and buy it.
Spaceship is the brand by Namecheap, yes?
Yeah. For domain investors.
And Namecheap, and I just remember they even advertised on New York. What was it? Times Square? Yes, on the big billboard.
Yeah.
They had ICU, store.icu. So what Lars does with one of his TLDs, you can check it out later. Store.icu, ICU, yes. They offer e-commerce solutions. You can build up actually online shops or something like that. Now I just discovered it recently. They are doing so many things as well. Lars and his team, awesome. They've got many brands. They've got Nameblock. They've got Nikki for wallets. They have Web United together with Freename. Like lots and lots of things. TLDs, and that company, that Luxembourg company, should be looked after definitely.
It's great. I remember a Shopify starting 10 years ago, whenever it was.
Yes.
And that would have been one of the hottest stocks to pick at the time because e-commerce was such a pain. Like WooCommerce and using WordPress and the other 2 or 3 others. They were just horrible to build and use. So, and then Shopify, obviously, because of the Instagram influencers.
Go on. I'm opening your stuff.
So Shopify did well.
So Ryan, can I share my screen? Those who are watching, this is unscripted, and Ryan doesn't know what I will show him. Okay, he has put that information public, so I'm sure I can share the screen.
Okay.
Hopefully I can. So once we go to domain manage and we go to investors, domainmanage.com/investors.
Yep.
Here we go down. By the way, I love your design, really. So this is the first place I saw actually DNWE down here.
Yeah.
So 4 marketplaces, and so you are looking for investors.
Yep.
And we are preparing for initial IPO in 2029 and welcome equity investors. Oh, you got a spelling mistake. Interested in, that's fine. Interested in our company. Spelling mistake actually means that the text hasn't been written by ChatGPT. Interested in our company's infrastructure, including our technology, intellectual property, and core assets. We plan to invest 100 million in quarter or Q4 2024 into ultra rare domain names to secure a significant share of the remaining premium domain names. So you're looking for investments of 1 million plus, and exit strategy is IPO in 2029. Okay, buddy. Can you share more of this?
Interested is that's right. That's the right spelling. Interested, yeah. Yeah, that's the right spelling.
Oh, that's the right spelling. Okay, sorry.
God, you have me worried there, because I write all the content.
That's me. Yes.
There's probably others, so don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2020, when I decided to leave finance, I was really unwell, and I spent a prolonged period in bed. I had a problem with energy and stuff like this. So I spent maybe 2 years where I just wasn't well enough to leave the house. So I spent 2 years pretty much in bed. And in that 2-year period, I kind of spent 16, 18, 20 hours a day working out what it was I wanted to do. And I came up with a plan over like a 7-8 year period of where I was going to be and how I was going to get there, and the kind of role I wanted to do and what was the actual vision. And, for me, I always wanted to IPO. It's something I've always wanted to. I've run lots of businesses, but none of them have had the scalability or anything else that could get me there. So I had a vision, had a plan, put it down on paper, worked out what I wanted to do, and then I spent loads and loads and loads of time learning about domain names, brokers, buying domains, selling domains, and essentially had this vision, and that's what I'm going to do. And we're kind of on course for that. Whether we have a lot of people approach us who have got money, don't understand domain names, want to lend, want to buy, want to do whatever. We're essentially collecting them together. Bearing in mind, I've got background in finance, so I have a lot of people. And now, because I've got demonstrable results about buying portfolios and selling portfolios and lending money, and the platforms are now kind of surfacing this kind of thing, that we've got access to a reasonable amount of money, whereby we can go in and do exactly what GoDaddy did. Like GoDaddy built the company by acquiring domain portfolios. That's what that was the cash cow. And they were 1 week away from going bust or something before that Super Bowl advert.
Really?
Yeah, they were a week or 3 weeks away. It was like properly right on the edge. And I think that if you watch what's his name, Bob Parsons.
Bob Parsons, yes.
If you watch his videos and stuff, there was a mistake with the advert when it first appeared. So they essentially ended up getting it for free. But the key thing is that GoDaddy understood that if you bought the domain names, that was the cash cow. They obviously bought registrars and everything else to acquire those assets. But that was what GoDaddy did. That's how they built their business, and that's how I'm building my business. Whether we IPO or not, whether we keep it private, we'll see. But at least there's a tangible exit. And I've got other things I want to do that outside of working when I'm, in 2029. There's personal things I want to do and stuff. So yeah, we're five years away and we're on track. Yeah, no one knows about the being ill part and stuff, but that's why if I can do it, anyone can do it.
So you never told me neither.
No, no one knows. So Mo and Jeff,
Wow.
in case I know, no one knows. I'm.
Really?
It was a terrible time. But also it was good because I then realised how short life can be and what I wanted to achieve and what made me happy. And that's why I'm a bit cavalier now, because basically I haven't really got anything to lose. When you go through that experience, it kind of gives you a bit of a, it just gives you a different perspective on life. And so
And you should do what brings you joy as well.
absolutely, you know, with the
With proper structure. With proper structure.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But, you know, in the background, I'm super organized. Just don't look at my desktop screen because that would say I'm on it all the time, you know, and I've got a really good teams of people I've worked with for 10 years or something, you know, that are best in the game in their particular fields, and they love working on the projects that I'm giving them because it's exciting and they didn't know the kind of thing, you know. So yeah.
So the IPO is actually getting all the stuff that you have, bundling it all together with all the investors you are working with, your own portfolios and everything. Yes.
Yeah. So at the moment we own 100% of all shares, but we are open to capital raise for people to come in, or you know, if they've got skills and knowledge in the industry, or they've got certain attributes that would be beneficial, then we would be open to the conversation. But essentially, yeah, it's going to bundle it together, coupled with domain parking, coupled with fractional ownership, coupled with 3 or 4 other projects we can execute, bundle it all together, and we're IPO.
And under the British flag. That's awesome.
Listed
in New York, Berlin, or London. Do you know already? Do you already have the plan?
Well, it's a bit tricky. Well, basically, it's TBC because we may have to incorporate in America because basically because we're doing more of our businesses with America, right? So, irrespective of the fact we're a UK company, it's going to make sense to be incorporated in America potentially. But we've got tax specialists and everything working through things to work out the best plan of attack from where we incorporate.
I think we will have few people from the UK government at the domain summit. They should keep you here on the soil. You have the city of London. Come on.
Well, remember when we met?
Go and hide behind the dragons. We've got city of London. Like nobody talks about it. I still haven't explored it, but
I mean, I used to live right by. Used to live off Old Street, so right by the City Mile. You know, and when we met, we were both super passionate about making the UK one of the kind of centres of you know, domain names and digital assets and everything else.
yes.
There's some huge advantages of being in the UK because we've got one regulatory body, we're one country. It's pretty straightforward.
And we met each other because we were both bidding for Aiken domains. Yes.
Yeah, I think would we done a podcast before that?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But so I got Aiken domains. You got DN Forum.
Yep.
Then you sold DN Forum to me. We met, had drinks, and and the friendship started.
That was the craziest story ever. Yeah. The night that we sold DN Forum.
We went to the first floor of the London Covent Garden pub with a bag of money.
Helmut's basically phoned me up and said, Ryan, I'll buy DN Forum. Do you want to come? Because I was outside London at the time. Do you want to get on the train, come to London, we'll have a drink? And I was like, okay. He said, I'm going to give you cash. I was like, cash? I was like, that's...
And those who are listening, still everything went through the books. I have the invoice and everything. Everything is there, yes. So please don't make assumptions, yes.
So we turn up at this pub, and Helmut turns up with what can only be described as a suitcase of cash. And I don't know if you're okay with me telling the story.
No, go on. That's fine.
And then Helmut goes up to the manager of the pub and says, look, are you okay? Do you have a room where we can go and count cash? And they're like, what? What do you mean? And they said, yeah, go upstairs. There's another area. So we walk upstairs, and there's two girls who are like waitresses. And Helmut goes, don't worry about us. We're just counting cash. And they're like, what's going on here? So we sit down at this table, and on the table there's all this cash. And he says, Go on then, do you
And
want to
Ryan is watching on the bag, on the cash, on those two girls who start freaking out. And I think they understood that manager said that, yes, we can go upstairs. And Ryan said, no, look, I believe you.
Yeah.
Let's return back to the beers.
It's going to take me like ages to count. I was like, no, I believe you, helmets, it's fine. And then, so we had a couple of drinks, and then I stayed in London in the end. So I've got this big bag of cash, and it's super heavy as well. People don't realize how heavy cash is. And then I'm thinking, well, how am I going to bank it? Because our business banking is through Wise, because we do so much in foreign currency. And so the next day, and this is, I don't know if I told you this story, but my older brother, we think basically what we have to do is pay it into our personal accounts to then pay it across to the business account.
Oh, sorry for all the hustle. Yes.
So we basically split it into 3 piles. So myself, Alex, older brother, and Angus, younger brother, and Alex goes to the bank with £10,000 to pay it in. And they said, "Where's the £10,000 come from?" And Alex says, "Oh, I've sold a car." And they said, "Okay, cool. Can you show us a logbook or whatnot?" And so basically, he couldn't bank the money. And so what I did was I phoned up my bank and I said, "Look, basically, I'm coming into Camden. I've got X amount of money. I need to come and bank it. Is that going to be possible?" And they said, "Yeah, Ryan, that's fine. We'll get a couple of people on the checkout so that they'll count your cash for you." I said, "Okay, brilliant." And I said, turn up at the bank, and it took something like 2 people and an hour and a half to count the cash, because in a cash machine you can only get a certain amount.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, £10,000 or something. Oh, it took ages and ages to go through. And but a hilarious story. We always still talk about it.
That was the start of the friendship.
Yeah. When you have that experience, then you know. And we both lived, so that's positive. And yeah, so that was
So
great.
Ryan, talking about cash, I understand that you are working on another loan.
Yeah, a little baby loan. For, well, there's a couple. There's one for $250,000, and then a little baby one for, I think there's one actually I'm working on, which is interesting. It's $5,000 for 40 days.
Okay.
So it's interesting, the kind of different levels and why people want it. But essentially, where we want to get to is that you would have a bank card. So if you are with Domain Manage, and
Yes.
you'll have a bank card. So it'll be tied to your account, and so therefore any monies will pay direct to your card, or you can have funds on account, and then essentially you just tap the card or withdraw money, however you want to do it. But that was one of the things we wanted to do and tie in with crypto. So that's one of the things. So yeah, so it's almost like a flexible overdraft, I guess, rather than a loan. This particular one.
Talking about the bank cards, I actually do know a guy who has launched his own credit card. He's a pastor from Canada, and he lives. And when Canada gets really, really cold, an Indian guy from Canada.
Yep.
He's a Christian pastor.
Okay.
And then he spends summers in the UK. And then when Canada returns to more or less normal temperatures, he returns. He's a fantastic guy.
Yeah.
He's now in London. Maybe I should introduce you both.
Yeah. I mean, that's the long-term plan. Is
And then maybe you could launch your own cards or something. Yeah, MasterCards.
Yeah. Like a prepaid MasterCard, they're great, and makes life easy. And then you can essentially, it's easy because then you can borrow against your domains without there's a few different things we're going to roll out in due course. I'll send you your domain manager bank card.
Awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, cool. It'd be fun. It'd be fun to do. So we'll see how that goes.
That's fantastic. Okay, Ryan, have we forgotten something? I'm sure we are not able to cover everything. God, your week has been busy.
Oh, we're working on a 50,000.com portfolio acquisition. That's the final one.
But by the way, we're working on 50,000.
Yeah. Remember that while we're talking about it now, this isn't this week's work, if you like.
Yes.
This has been ongoing for a few months and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully we'll get that over the line next, and then I'll go on holiday. Maybe I've been saying that for a while now.
Yeah. Thank you. And those who are watching, so there are 81 days left till the domain summit. Please get ready. Please get ready for London. If you are in the UK, there is no excuse. If you are in this industry, you have to come. You have to meet people in person, exchange bags of cash, or do all the other crazy stuff, and definitely pints and wines and laughs, and go through through storm of relationships, and then the best ones will stay, and it can be all done, of course. And many relationships start especially at events, at the industry events. So the main summit is coming up there, August 19th to 21st. We still have sponsorships available. If you are watching, if you wish to contribute, if your brand cannot attend, please contact me. I'll be glad, I'll be more than happy to help to promote your brand far beyond what you have paid and supported us. So we are looking for contributors as well. Yes. So that's awesome. Thank you, Ryan. And
yeah, if you're in the UK, you know, you've got to come to London, especially now that Brandable's up and everyone will be on platform by then. And then you can, you know, the plans of whatever it is, flip, and you know, you've got UK back orders coming.
Yes, domain UI.
So
and
all the big holders.
Paul is here. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe even Dennis from Domain Law. Maybe.
Yes. Yes. So Dennis has given his maybe. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yes. Andrew Bennett with Netistar, one of the most established and respected domain name registrars, UK, especially UK registrars who manage portfolios of domain names. And I understand that there are, when you're selling your domain names, you do that without fee. I think so, something like that, for the tag change or something like that. You would need to talk more, like many great, and GoDaddy are coming. Team Internet will be there, the CEO of Team Internet, and Sido Internet X, all the great guys. Excellent.ca, excellentdomains.ca. Yes, Ilse. Yes, Canadian, old experienced veteran. She sold Dennis.ca.
Wow.
She's got one of the best. Yeah, like lots of great people are coming.
It's the one time in the UK where, irrespective of where you are, you know, it's a really good opportunity to meet everyone, you know, in real life, and learn, because there's so many different people there that want to share their knowledge, you know, and sell domains, maybe buy domains. So yeah, hopefully see everyone in London.
And this is probably the last year when the main summit is in August. I've been listening, so this is the third year running. After that, it will probably be moved to September. And then there is next event that is on the plans in Hong Kong. I'm putting up a hit squad, as we call it. So of my friends, basically my friends and people I have, or companies I have been doing business with. And we are putting together the funds, and then we are entering Asian market, probably in April. If you want to be on board, the relationship starts at the main summit in London. You need to enter there, and then I know that you are serious. I have too many people who have been like saying, "Hey, we want to do this and that," and words doesn't cut the mustard.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's fantastic to have the opportunity to have this event in London for everyone. So yeah.
UK is growing. France are growing as well.
Yeah.
France and Germans are growing as well. It is awesome.
Yeah. It's definitely the best industry to be in. So yeah, exciting times.
Fun. Okay, Ryan, thank you. All the success. And one more time, congratulations with DNWE. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Here's the future of the DNWE.
Good night.
Are you running a domain